yourselves. Good afternoon, good morning. I spilt my coffee right as we were going live. I'm so close. It's so
it does seem close
close.
today. And I feel like I'm at the edge, but I'm not really.
Huh.
This feels weird.
Yeah, something's different. Oh, well, you tell us. Good morning.
It's not that weird.
You ready?
Welcome to Books We Never Read.
Except for those we have.
I'm Jason.
I'm Nicole.
And today we are doing our second reading of Red Rising by Pierce Brown.
Has it only been 2 readings?
It has. But one of them was 2 weeks long. So that's why.
Is that why? How do y'all feel about it? Are you feeling any better? We have had more people tell us that they are already on like book 4 of the series.
There are a lot of people who are just blasting through. And people like I wouldn't have expected to like it are really cruising.
Like way into it.
Yeah.
Do not bark. Our guest host is looking out the window barking at passersby, so just in case you hear her. So anyways, before we get started, if this is your first time joining us, please please make sure that you've read up to this part in the book. We have read up to part 4. So we have read parts 1, 2, and 3. So if you haven't read that yet and you don't want spoilers, stop the video, get out of here, go read, and then get caught up with us. We have our videos playlisted for you in our playlist section of YouTube. We are also available as a podcast on YouTube Music in case you want to hear us and not see us. If you're catching us on the replay, please comment in the comment box because thanks. It's all it's just everywhere. Because we really want to hear what you're thinking about the book, and we love having discussions about the books even way after we've read them. Keeps it alive. So we're happy that you're here. And
I was talking to somebody about somebody left some comments about Fourth Wing.
Oh,
yeah. So I was talking to somebody about that, I guess last night or so. Also, we discovered today that if you type in Books We Never Read into Google, we are the first thing that pops up.
Get out of
That's
town.
kind of cool. It's kind of cool.
Get out of town.
It took a long time because mostly it gives you books we don't read, books you've never read.
Books you shouldn't read.
Books you shouldn't read, yeah. But today we popped up as the first thing. So that was kind of neat.
Yeah.
And that was on incognito mode. I don't know if it'll do that for everybody, but like, it was cool. I'm going to pretend like it's cool. So.
I think it's cool.
Yeah.
We're on the Google map.
On the map.
Aw. Peggy says, yeah, congrats.
Yeah.
Shelby says that she got into the Reddit
Yes.
of this book series, and the people love it.
Yeah. I still think that some of it is, I mean, it's like one of these like young adult things where people get divided into houses and do stuff. It is a lot more mature than anything I've read that is like in that vein, right? And so that is refreshing, I think, because I think it deals with some interesting themes. That being said, it is the same concept just again, and some of it is so tropey that it hurts.
Like what?
Like the fact that they go to Minerva's woods and it's full of owls because that is what Minerva's animal is.
Right.
And they go and like Mars's woods is full of wolves, and it's just like, I get it. I get it. It's themed. Like I get it. But they've like themed it. They've themed the theme with a theme, right? Like it's just almost a caricature of itself to me at that point. But that being said, I did find this reading more, I don't know. I mean, like last week's was interesting as far as like setting the world, but I didn't find the story to be that cool, except for like at the Carver's house. That was interesting. The first half of this reading was rough for me, where they were like figuring out how to eat, because it took forever. But once they run into Mustang and House Minerva and like stuff starts happening, all right, I'm in. All right, now it's interesting.
Not tropey. They stole a cook. That's funny.
That is funny. Yeah, we're gonna have to talk about that in a minute, but yeah. I don't know, just like, you know, they have the colors, and not only that, but like they have their house animal, and not only that, but like it just they have like the things that go with that god, like Ceres gets all the wheat, and like I get it. they just like really leaned into the theme, like really hard, and that's fine. But like how different is the theme of Gryffindor, Ravenclaw, right? They've got their colors, they've got like the things they value, but like they all still take the same classes, and you can still be whatever you want in the world, but like you guys get the wheat and you guys get nothing because y'all are like the psychopath house or whatever. Which I do enjoy. I enjoy a psychopath house. I think that's interesting. That's all. Sorry.
Peggy gets lots of Book of Mormon vibes and started singing when the book described the poop situation from them being sick. I've not seen Book of Mormon.
Yeah, I haven't either.
But I've heard great things. So I think it's interesting that the proctors zoom down from Olympus, to watch. Back when I was teaching, we'd have to give like little practice state test exams, like little reading samples with little little questions to go along with it. And one of the passages was from the Iliad, and one of the questions was like which of the following describes the role of the gods to the people, kind of thing. And one of the options was, the people are a playground, and the gods are just like watching, spectating from above, or something like that. But anyways, there was a bunch of choices, and I don't even remember what the right answer was because none of it made sense, and it was all stupid. But that is what this reminded me of. I did have a point in there somewhere, and I lost it.
Yeah, they show up to watch their mortals.
Yeah, and in the Iliad, we see a lot of, a god throws the first arrow and then backs out of there and lets the people sort it all out and figure it out and be mad at each other, even though it was never any of their faults to begin with. And we see that a lot in this book. We saw that even when Darrow was still in his mining community, and they didn't win. The other group won. They knew it was rigged, but they're still mad at the group. So, I mean, we do really see a lot taken from Greek mythology and the relationship between the people and the leaders or the different segments of society. So I thought that was kind of neat. And so, of course, we see it here, too, in this little school battle situation. The word parapet was used in this book, and the only other time I've ever heard that word was in Fourth Wing.
Oh, really?
It's a parapet. I mean, I get it. It's a thing, but like...
What kind of thing?
I don't know. Tall thing, skinny thing, bridge thing.
It's like the walking space on top of a wall, basically.
Well, I never... You know what I would use? Ledge.
Well, it's not really a ledge.
But parapet...
Fair enough.
Parapet was pretty pacific.
Yeah.
And that really stood out.
Yeah.
It looks like
at one point, the Mars Proctor even calls them mortals, right? Like he refers to them as his mortals, and they really lean into the whole, and they call each other by their god names and not by whatever their real name is. Generally, yeah, that's interesting. I thought the whole conversation between Darrow and his proctor, where he was just like, you must not be that great if you're here, and then the guy tried to like defend his value and all. I thought that was an interesting conversation. Yeah, like and this is a prestigious post, and maybe that was the best post he could ever get to.
It's so weird, and it's weird how. Thank you, Shelby. She also said ledge. It's weird how quickly Darrow acclimated to his role as a pompous, uppity gold, and that he would be so comfortable bashing a true flavor of gold. Some of this feels...
Yeah, just being snarky. Yeah.
Some of it feels so written. I feel like in real life... It wouldn't be that way. And I do appreciate that sometimes he's like, I am peeing my pants right now. You know, like he's saying things, and like we get the internal of like he is very self-conscious about it. But sometimes it just seems so...
But he was willing to insult
unreal.
Someone that he would have been terrified of. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's also, by that point in the story, he has grown a lot, and he's like killed some golds, and I guess they've lost a lot of standing in his mind. And also in his mind, he is going to be or is becoming something that is greater than what this guy is. But yeah, his willingness to, I don't know, I get the school concept, I guess. I don't really think this is all that helpful for achieving their aims in society, but I don't know. I've never really made an authoritarian dictatorship before, so like I don't know. But it seems to me that they are really running the risk of teaching the wrong lesson at this school because a lot of people are learning what it means to be a slave, and that it's no bueno, right? Like, I don't think that's what you're looking to teach people here, because then they have to go and like have slaves. And if anything, what you're doing is teaching them is giving them the ability to empathize, potentially. And they might just be like, oh, but those are subhuman, they're different, right? Like that could happen. And apparently that has been happening for like 300 years. But what if a couple people are just like, oh, no, this is crazy. I don't want to treat people like that. I was a slave once, and all these bad things happened to me.
Yeah,
I don't think we should live this way.
They're so willing to like lose people in this part of the school. I mean, how about all the these golds that ended up becoming slaves at the school? Do you think they actually even make it out?
Probably. I mean, like they're not supposed to be killed. They'll get out, and as long as they follow the rules, they won't be shamed. They probably won't be anything amazing, but like they'll graduate or whatever.
Get their wings and fly.
I guess.
Whatever that was. It's weird. I don't really understand how the world works here. I do appreciate. Sorry, I'm like skipping all over the place. I do appreciate that Darrow, even though he has made friends, quote unquote, he recognizes that he might have to kill them at some point, and he always has in the back of his mind what his true mission is. He kind of repeats it to himself pretty often.
Yeah.
Like, I see these things happening. I'm becoming leader. I'm becoming prime or whatever. And then I will surpass this, become the lead, and destroy this whole thing from within. Like,
Yeah.
I appreciate that because I'm afraid he's going to forget his
Yeah.
his mission. And I think it could be easy to do so.
Yeah. Well, so Peggy points out that what these people might be learning is that like by having slaves is how you win, and that's true too. But theoretically, you could have one person left in the entire game that's like, or one house left that's not a slave, right? And so, and you're right, and the slaves could learn that lesson, right? It's by having slaves that we could have won, but I became a slave, whatever, right? Like, that's definitely true. But I don't know. I mean, so because I keep thinking about what you just said too. His ultimate like, goal, and bringing it back around to like this slave thing is what happens. Like, is Severo going to go with him the whole way? Because I hope he does. I kind of like that guy. Goblin or whatever they call him. And what does that look like? Will Darrow be able to convince some of these people using this experience to learn the lesson that I was just kind of saying, right? Like, he isn't going to be able to really do it alone. I don't care what kind of fleet you have. You can't just. You got to have some buy-in. You know what I mean? And who will have that buy-in and why? I think might be interesting.
What the heck? And someone mentioned Titus?
Yeah, let's talk about Titus. Wow. I didn't see that coming. That was a good twist.
That was a good catch from Darrow.
Yeah.
That he noticed that he said us, or whatever it was.
He said they.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, shoot, he's a red. And then killed him anyway.
Yeah. Well.
But because Titus said it out loud and the proctors would have heard and had...
Titus never said he was a red.
No, but he said they. He went on this thing like they took our women first and that kind of thing. And so Darrow knows that he said it out loud. And
well, he's a loose cannon. He's what Darrow could be.
Titus is crazy.
Despite the fact that he was abused first, he is still an abuser. And I'm on board with the whole like what they did was not justice; it was vengeance, and it was weird, and they just stabbed that guy a lot till he died. And like. All right, that's not cool. But
and he used the red bad words, right?
Yeah, he's red bad words.
Bloody instead of gory.
Yeah.
I hate the way they talk.
Yeah, I think you're supposed to. I think it's funny that all fantasy books have to come up with like their own curse words. Just like use the regular ones. It's fine. But you can make it like PG-13 by making up your own, I guess. So
I guess.
Anyway, it's interesting. We're talking about Darrow being willing to insult the proctor. He was willing to kill another red, but part of it is to keep his cover, because if Titus starts saying, if anybody else figures it out, then they're going hunting, and that will mess up the whole mission. And I understand that. There's a lot of good reasons for them to kill Titus, I guess, but that's not easy, Not easy.
Yeah. In the audiobook, listening to Darrow talk is just intolerable. Oh, it's just terrible. And even like the plain narration is less like Irishy than what it was at the beginning. Yeah. And I might be confusing it with the other audiobook that I listened to, but I'm pretty sure even his thoughts are now less mining and more Goldie.
Yeah. Peggy was saying that they all seem very homophobic.
Yes!
Well, and sexist. I think that's very interesting because it's, despite the fact that they're sending the girls to this school, just from the way that they talk, it seems like there's not really a chance.
No, they're like, they're just there.
Or so like when Darrow was like, bring me your Primus or your leader or the person with the biggest balls, right? Like that necessarily cuts out like half of the group. And I get the concept. And ultimately, the person they brought him was a woman, right? Which I think is great. And that takes like what he was doing and flips it on its head. And it speaks more to the sentiment of the idea than to like the biology of it. But just a whole lot of stuff in here just seems like there's even not like physical parity between the sexes when you're a gold, which I feel like there should be. Like I feel like there should be, not a whole lot of like dimorphism here.
Yeah. Even like when they were just insulting each other and kind of going back and forth, I felt like I was reading Romeo and Juliet, and it was the Capulets and the Montagues like talking back and forth. Lots of just prick talk, right? Like, and I'll take your prick. Like, what?
Yeah.
Who? What? What are you talking about? And why? Why does that come into it? That's so weird. But I was like, we're just, and they were all like fancy, like talking. And so I was like, I'm just listening to Shakespeare. This is terrible. But all this to say how the part ended. Is he dead?
I ain't dead.
He can't be dead. We still have like 5 other books.
Could you imagine we go through this whole thing about Eo's sacrifice and Darrow dies halfway through book 1 and we get a new character that we're following?
It's realistic though. That would totally be realistic.
That would be really good. I'd enjoy that.
Also, as I'm reading, there's an EO behind every bush, right? Like every time we're introduced to a new character, I'm like, is that going to be EO? She's been reconstructed. And there was somebody that they mentioned whose face was covered. And I don't even remember what the situation was.
Well, so let's go back to Titus, right? Like, now that we know that there's another red who has been goldified, I suppose
this place is full of them.
I mean, it could be. Or like, what if we've been doing this for hundreds of years and Darrow really isn't like the first one? This also leads me to believe that Ares is not Dancer, right? Because Dancer seems very convinced that this is a big deal. And is this something they've recently only been able to achieve? Why? And why this? Why is Titus a red? Why is he not like any other color? It seems to me that it would be easier to adapt any other color to being a gold. Maybe not for physical reasons. Maybe the reds are most similar physically for, because of manual labor or whatever. But the other people are at least familiar with society and can read, probably. Which seems like the uphill battle to me. I don't know. Will we meet other golds that are other colors that are not reds?
Yeah.
And is it only that you pick reds because that's what the Sons of Ares are? Are they all reds? I don't think they are.
Are reds the only ones that really feel like they need to revolt?
Right. Maybe so.
Because they are the only ones who think that Mars still is not ready for humans. And so, I mean, they have the biggest betrayal.
Yeah.
Questionably. I think the pinks are kind of ready for a revolution.
They should be. They should be.
I don't even know what the other ones are. The chapter names are giving too much away. Are there chapter names?
Yeah, there's chapter names. Yeah, and you can kind of tell what's going to happen.
What?
Yeah.
Hold up. Time to speculate wildly.
I thought that the little battle where the people hid inside the horse bellies was pretty good.
Very
Star Warsy.
Oh, ew!
Where he like hides inside the tauntaun.
Yeah. Very Trojan horse.
Well, but so that's exactly what I was thinking of, right? Going back to the Iliad.
So I've kind of started thinking, like, what other famous Greek stories are we going to see throughout, you know?
Yeah.
All this Greek stuff is reminding me of another series that I really loved and didn't get to finish yet. It was called The Goddess Wars. It was so cool and very easy to read. So, little recommendation for you if you like Greek mythology and would like a modern take on it.
Peggy says, "What if Ares is Fenwick?"
Who's Fenwick?
I'm not sure who Fenwick is. Is he the proctor? His name's not. The proctor's name is.
Hold on, I look.
Not sure. I don't know. But yeah, so we're heading towards this battle with the Jackal, who is the arch-governor's son, which will be an interesting showdown. Cassius has like some blood feud with the guy, right? Like their families just don't like each other or whatever. But it seems like the proctors are probably gonna like favor that kid and like cheat for him, you know. That'd be my guess. But I guess our proctor, not the red proctor, the Mars proctor is basically cheating for them as well, though, because he gave them information. You know, I don't know what house the Jackal is in.
I can't keep any of it straight.
Yeah.
What house is Darrow in?
Mars.
Oh. Gotcha. What house is Mustang in?
Minerva.
Okay. Gotcha.
Ceres is the people down by the river, and then we've met one more. Well, and we've met the Jackal's squad. I just can't remember what god it was. But
it confuses me that they have names and nicknames.
Yeah.
So that kept throwing me off because sometimes he would refer to his people as the nicknames and sometimes as the name.
Yeah.
So that was a little confusing. Yeah, what houses are left remaining? Is it just... I thought it was just the one that was left.
No. There's like a whole... There's like at least 4 more that we haven't met. Because we've only really played around in like the northern half of the map.
Jeez Louise.
So
it's just taking forever. It doesn't have the house. Oh gosh, I can't even see that. It's just the tiniest little thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
So there's Apollo. Have we seen Apollo?
No, I don't think so.
Ceres.
Jupiter. Yeah.
Diana, Juno. Have we seen Juno?
No.
Jupiter.
And that Jupiter, I think, is what
Unknown House.
Interesting.
Where's that at? Hold up. Oh, it's by the river. Oh, there's 2.
I don't know. Yeah. Interesting.
There's 4.
5.
One in the mountains. Okay. Well, I mean, we're almost done with this book, and I don't know what's going on.
Maybe we don't finish this year in this book. You know, I don't know.
If we don't finish this year in this book, will we finish this year?
I don't know.
Are we going to know what's going on? Are we going to continue
We'll
reading?
figure it out.
5. Yeah, there are 5 unknowns. Peggy was looking at the map, too. Peggy's all about a map. Interesting. Why do they spell democracy with a K?
Make it cool. It's cool.
It's cool with a K.
It's cool with a K. It's funny to me because... So even Darrow at some point says... Oh, I understand why democracy... I think it was Darrow. Like realizes, oh, this is why democracy probably doesn't work. And I don't remember exactly what the situation is. But he has that thought. And it's kind of like what he's fighting for, kind of, at least. You know, I guess he could be fighting for an authoritarian society that doesn't have slaves. Like,
yeah,
step up.
What
I don't know.
Is Darrow fighting for? All we know is that Darrow was a miner who was lied to.
Yeah. I don't think he has any political concepts. He doesn't really have any, like, philosophical concepts about this. He's fighting for vengeance.
Yeah.
And so we have all this talk about like Titus was out for vengeance. Darrow is too. He's just longer sighted.
Right. So Io wanted him to do something more, right? And then he gets swept up with this group of people who bring him back to life and create a monster out of him and say, you're going to continue the work. Other than he's doing this for Io, this has no definition.
Mm-hmm.
He's just doing.
Yeah.
And he's being told what to do by other people. And he doesn't even know what the end goal,
right.
You begin with the end in mind. That should be true for rebellions also. What is your end goal? What kind of society do you want? And then you can work towards it.
Yeah.
He's just a pawn. He has no control and he has no feelings about any of it.
Well, what if that's where we're headed? What if in 6 or 7 books or whatever, when the real revolution happens, he has to buck what the Sons of Ares want?
He's totally gonna. That is exactly what this is gonna be.
Because they're gonna want him to like nuke a golden town or something.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, that's not really our thing, right?
Oh, he's gonna realize that he's been just popping along without knowing where he's going.
Well, what's gonna happen is that this organization is gonna create someone with power, and he will not have to listen to them, right? Like it's not like they have a strong dude in their army and he has the army to back him up as a strong dude, right? And in saying that, I'm thinking about like the Iliad and like the heroes dueling each other, but they have an army to back each other up, right? Like they're creating a new army, right? So here's the Trojans and the all the Greeks fighting, and then they've like made another dude who's gonna turn up with his own thing and be able to tell everybody what he wants them to do. And hopefully that'll be a better society, but he's gonna have to think about what that means because he has no concept of any of that,
No. So I knew Cassius. I mean, I think everyone knew that Cassius was eventually gonna turn on him and attack. But just Cassius from, again, Shakespeare.
Mm-hmm.
He has a lean and hungry look. No one trusted Cassius. And Cassius is who convinced Brutus to kill little old Caesar. Et tu, Brute. Severo. We're liking him.
Yeah, I do like Severo. I mean, he's like kind of feral, but he is, for whatever reason, loyal to Darrow. He knew the secret about who Darrow had to murder and kept that secret. So I think I'm concerned he'll die, right? Like we need somebody that we need. We've had Darrow be upset that he had to kill a gold. But it was that he had to kill somebody and not so much that that guy died. It'll be interesting when... It's going to be a very big turning point for Darrow. Will dies that he cares about, and he is upset by that.
Right. Right. And, at some point, someone needs to be on his side who knows his secret and is determined to, help him along the way. There's just no way that he can make it all the way through on his own.
But what does that conversation look like? Like, how does somebody find out?
How can you can't even have the conversation because the proctors would know. It's going to have to be a proctor.
Well, it'll have to be after school, right? Like, what if it's in the future?
After school. Need you after school.
Or, what if he never tells anybody until afterwards? What if somehow he's able to sell this idea of rebellion somehow, But, no. Or my immediate concern is, like, what do we do about Cassius, right? Like, now that this has happened, there really can't be trust between them. Somebody mentions Rock is missing, right? So, like, where's that guy? Because that is somebody that Darrow does trust. But, like, I guess Cassius has to die, or Darrow dies.
Someone also said Mustang's coming in to save Darrow, and Peggy said Mustang was whistling at Io's song. I don't remember that.
Oh, I missed that part.
I don't think I'm paying attention to this book.
I'm struggling sometimes. I definitely, especially in the first half of this reading, I just glazed over and read the important words and was like, I get it. It's cool. But then in the second half, I was more interested because I felt like things were happening instead of it just telling me about starving children. Because I really felt like that's what it was doing for a long time.
It just went on and on.
Yeah.
And it's not that I'm not interested, but I hate reading it. And I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
Oh, she was whistling in the locker room.
Oh, okay, yeah. Interesting. That'd be cool if Mustang was red. That would be cool.
What if Mustang's EO?
Yeah. Doubt it, but that'd be cool.
I mean, the Sons of Aries says that she's dead. And he snapped her neck, so I don't know how you can't really come back from that.
But somebody snapped his, right?
No, he didn't really.
Right.
His uncle didn't really do it.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know what to think about it.
Yeah. I'm interested to see where it ends, right? So
It's just, unfortunately, it won't end. You know?
No, you're right. And then we'll have to make a decision about whether or not we're going to continue reading. If we don't read the second one in the next 6 books or so, I'll probably read the second one on my own. And that's fine. Like, I don't care.
I mean, I'm
going to find out.
I'm invested at this point, and I want to...
No. Don't do that sunk cost stuff, right? Like, we can...
No, I don't mean that.
Yeah, but we can pull out.
I am interested in knowing where it's going.
Yeah.
I just don't like reading it.
Well, like several people have said, this one is the struggle one, and that the second one is actually one of the best in the series, and that does intrigue me.
So I'm not opposed to hanging in there.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah.
I think you committed to pulling from the hat.
Oh, yeah.
So
Next book, we're pulling from the hat, and we'll include book 2 in the hat pool.
And I think we are saying we're going to include our first nonfiction in the hat pool. So potentially doing that.
I am going to put a nonfiction in the hat pool.
Are
we okay with that? Are you okay with that? That's the real question.
Yeah, I mean, like, we've sort of talked about like a style for nonfiction that we're leaning towards, and it's not my style.
Right, it's a narrative.
So I think that's fine. Yeah, I think that's fine.
In 1886.
It's kind of like... But yes, and I have some ideas. If it goes well, I have some ideas that we could do. But
Shelby, what's the name of the Mark Edwards book that you started today? I'll add it to the hat because I've been wanting to read another one by him. If you want us to add it.
That's a good idea.
We don't have to. You can have your cheat book.
I've been meaning to message that guy.
Yeah?
I think he'd talk to us.
Ooh. Nothing like loving Frank. Ick.
No.
No, that's what's Peggy. But what's Peggy?
I don't know.
Peggy? What does it mean? Okay, Shelby's reading No Place to Run. So we'll add that to the hat as well.
Gotcha.
I've got a few things to add in there. There's also sorry, we're moving on kind of to other things, just book clubbing things.
Oops.
Is that okay?
I feel like we have talked less about this week, even though there was probably more to talk about. But yeah, I'm fine with it.
Okay.
And I think we covered it all.
The middle section is hard to...
It's always hard.
It
doesn't matter what book it is.
You've moved on from the first part, but you still don't have enough information.
Right.
You're just like hanging on a ledge or on a parapet, if you will.
Yeah. It's usually the beginning and ends of books are the places where you discover, and the middle is the action.
Yeah.
So,
okay, I have been chasing a good read. I read a book a long time ago called The Miniaturist, and it was so good. It's by Jessie Burton. And since then, I have been like trying to find another book similar to that, and I haven't been able to. But I have found a few books that people say they like, and they also liked The Miniaturist, and so I'm adding those to the hat as well.
So are we adding only in the hat books that you potentially want to read?
Yes.
Okay, and then what? So whenever I get the hat...
You do your own thing.
What if we... Okay, we'll talk about it later. What if we just filled a hat with books?
Just with everything?
I want to read. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, because you picked your book,
well,
and we're currently reading it.
What if every time it was your time to pull out of the hat, you also got to add a book back? Or something.
What does that mean?
Like, so like, what if you put in 3 books and I put in 3 books, but it's your week to pull. So
so
you pull one, and then you get to throw one of your books in. And then I pull one the next time, and I throw one of my books in. And that way we're always moving through the books that are in there. It doesn't matter.
Are we always doing a hat pull?
I don't know. It doesn't matter. Who cares?
Okay. Is that the lady who figured out how to solve murders? Sorry. Okay. The miniaturist is not about the lady who figured out how to solve murders. It's so bizarre. But no, that's not what it is. And Peggy also says that with this middle part, she'd rather be back on the devil ship. Y'all are giving Devil in the Dark Water a little too much hate. Okay. I like that.
That's okay. You're welcome to do that.
Shelby said she would not. Nothing is going to get her back on that boat.
Yeah, I think I prefer this one to the middle part of Devil in the Dark Water, because the middle part of Devil in the Dark Water was the storm that lasted a week.
Yeah, forever.
Of reading.
Shelby says if we pull a pick recommended by one of the book club members, do they get to add another one to the hat? Okay, I like this.
That's actually kind of fun. Yeah.
This would be hard to keep up with, and I'd be tempted to keep slipping stuff into the hat. But I like that idea. Peggy says no, she's giving this book hate. No, I like the idea though of.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll talk about some concepts of how to.
And then y'all are gonna start arguing amongst yourselves about who actually recommended the book. Sometimes more than one of you recommend something.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness gracious. All right. Well, do y'all have anything else to say?
Yeah. My guess for the end of this book is that we get to the point where we meet the jackal, but we don't actually fight the jackal. I think that's kind of where we're headed. Like, I think the second book will be the final school war or something. You know, like I don't believe we're getting out of the valley quite yet. I just don't think it's time.
We're just so
We've
deep
spent so much time.
And there's so many more houses that we haven't seen.
Right. And maybe we don't see them all, and that's fine. Who cares, right? Like, we don't need to see them all.
Why are there mystery houses?
Yeah, why are there mystery houses?
What's up with that?
Yeah, so we'll put out a short later today with us pulling a book out of the hat. See what we get. So
I'm going to work on my hat build. Okay. Yeah, we do have a lot of things on our list that people have recommended that we haven't even touched yet. Yeah. There's just so many books in so little time. So, anyway, I see Mustang to the rescue, and the jackal's going to be an ally who hates the system.
That would be good. Like, sort of overthrowing his father's dominion or something. That'd be interesting.
That's very Fourth Wing.
Yeah.
Who's the boy?
Yeah. The king's son.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Trembling with anticipation.
Yeah, when's that one come back out?
Oh, it's like a long time from now.
I know. All right. Well, we've babbled on enough here at the end.
We had good book club talk, though.
We did have book club talk. All right.
Oh, really? Yeah. There's a new Hunger... Did y'all read Song of... whatever the other Hunger Games was that came out, the prequel that came out?
Is there a movie for it already?
There is. Yeah. And now there's another one?
Wow.
I don't know that I liked Hunger Games enough to keep reading, but they were easy reads.
Yeah.
Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I knew there were snakes in there somewhere.
Gotcha.
Good job, Shelby. But shoot, we could add that. We could add another Hunger Games to it. Most people have read it, you know.
Yeah.
Whatever. Okay, sorry. I'm done.
That's fine.
Ballad was so boring.
Oh, no.
Ooh, Haymitch's origin story. I'm into that.
Interesting.
All right, sorry.
No, it's okay.
We could just keep going.
Yeah, it's... we don't need to. People have things to do. All right.
This is good. This was good information.
Yep. So we'll meet back next week for part 4 of Red Rising, and with a syllabus for whatever book we pull out of the hat today. We appreciate everybody sticking with it, even though you could totally quit and just come back in 2 weeks. I know people don't really care for it, but like so far I'm fine. I'm giving I'm giving it a middle grade.
I am moderately entertained.
I'm getting there. I'm improving.
And I am curious, and that goes a long way.
Yeah,
you know?
Definitely. I do put this on about the same level for me as Devil in the Dark Water, right? Like they're just.
We've kind of had 2 books, you know.
Yeah, and that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm reading because I want to know what happens.
coming off of Hail Mary Project.
Yeah, that was tough.
Nothing can follow that.
Yeah, that's really
like
tough.
I still really miss it.
Well, because we did that one and
we started the year
grocery
strong.
store and Tress of the Emerald Sea. I think those were back to back.
Yeah,
and those were all really good. So anyway,
yeah. It's just hard to follow that, and that
that's whatever. I don't care. I'm reading with my friends. So.
Yeah, this part is fun.
I mean, I had a lot of fun when we did the chess story because it was bad, and that's okay. That's okay. Sometimes though, maybe what we should do is just be like, you know what, this is rough. Y'all want to just finish it by next week and just chop it short.
That is always an option that we can say, like, we are dragging this on.
Yeah, let's blast through it.
Yeah, put that audio on 2.0 speed. T-shirt idea. Shh, I'm reading with my friends. I love that.
All right, well, we're gonna go find a hat. You gonna find a hat?
Yeah, I'll go find my hat.
Okay. We should make a Books We Never Read hat.
And if you flip it upside down, it's like the drawing hat or whatever, like.
Or it could look like a sorting hat or something, or like we could do something like a big wizard hat.
I could crochet a sorting hat.
What if we crochet just like a Books We Never Read book bag or something? Like I don't know. And
I could do that too.
We have options.
Peggy needs merch.
We're gonna get there, right? We're gonna get there.
Yeah.
We don't have enough people.
It's a step up.
Yeah. Yeah. So part of it is that if we wanted to do it through YouTube, we have to have more people like spending time watching. Mm-hmm. And we could always not do it through YouTube because like we're not making money or whatever. It's just talk to somebody who makes a
but to like link a channel shop, we have to have more
watch hours.
Yeah. Peggy says Nicole has yarn. Yeah, that's our view, right?
That's our view.
Your view is books. My view is yarn.
Yeah. But yeah, we have all kinds of fun things that we like to do just to help get the word out about what we're doing. And most of it is up to you, our dear viewers.
Yeah, most of our viewers have come from book club members just sharing the channel.
And I don't care about having viewers. I care about having book club friends.
Yeah.
So
having people added to the discussion.
Yep. All right. We've done this enough.
Sorry.
No, that's okay.
I just wanted to talk to y'all today. Maybe sometimes we just need just a chat. Just a check-in chat.
We should do that, right? Like
just grab
therapy Thursdays.
Yeah.
Right? Just
grab some coffee and
let's just hang out. Yeah.
All right.
Cool. We will see you guys momentarily. Bye.
Aw, we love y'all too.